Hi, my name's Pete Brown, and I make people thirsty for a living, mainly by talking and writing about beer. And one of the new things we're going to be doing from now on is this is the first of what will be a monthly video blog where I go around the country visiting different regions and trying the beers from there. And that's a job, it's a dirty job, but someone has to do it.
Have a drink, mate.
So this is Castle Rock Harvey's Pale. It's a blonde ale, similar colour to lager, but so much more to it than a lager has. You can see it's got a tight head. That's because we're north of a very important north-south divide. This beer is dispensed with a sparkler, which gives us a nice tight creamy head. There's a real kind of spine of citrusy lemoniness to that beer, not too overpowering, but just really giving it a nice body and nice flavour. But then it finishes with a lovely hoppy, dry, assertive finish, which is incredibly cleansing and refreshing in your mouth, and it leaves you with a nice bitter buzz. It's fantastic. For the second stop on our tour of Midlands Brewing, we've come out from the centre of Nottingham to Beeston and to the Victoria Hotel. This pub was built in 1897 as a refreshment stop for passengers going between Derby and Nottingham. And as it feels like the first day of autumn today, we're trying some darker beers now. The first one is Aldershaw's Best Bitter, which is brewed in Grantham by a very small brewery. It's got this dark chocolatey colour. And the smell, the aromas, are more what I would associate with a mild. They're sort of like chicory, camp coffee, granules, chocolate, things like that. They're not necessarily flavours that you would say in a premium beer, but actually in a beer, they really do belong, and they're really great, and it's quite wonderful. When we taste it, I think the first thing you notice is a very smooth, silky mouthfeel. It's really quite seductive as it goes around. And that chocolatiness comes out to the fore, and it just feels really comforting. On a day where you've got the first chill in the wind, it's really quite nice. We've just come up the road in Beeston to the Crown Inn, which for me really illustrates what British craft beer is all about. We've got a list here of 14 different cask ales. Now this changes all the time, but when we look at the beers here, we've got a range of strengths down here from about 3.8 to just over 5.3 here, and quite helpfully colours down this side so we can see a little bit of what styles they are. So I think we should try a couple and see what they're like. Our first beer here at the Crown is another golden beer. This is from the Nottingham brewery, Bullion. It's a bit more full-bodied than the beers we've had before that are golden. We often talk about beers as either malty or hoppy. This is both and yet neither. And what you get is this real core of sweet, juicy fruit. It's kind of the equivalent to what a Chardonnay is in wine. I'm not saying it tastes like a Chardonnay, but if you think about the way that a good Chardonnay is really nice and fruity but finishes really nice and clean, it does the same kind of thing here. So when I talk about sweetness, it's not cloying, it's not building up, but just very refreshing, very quaffable, and very moreish. I was really glad to see that the Crown has got on one of my favourite beers from around this part of the world, from a brewery called Blue Monkey, who've been going for about 18 months. And every single one of their beers, to time with the brewery name, has to have some kind of simian connection. And this one is my absolute favourite, 99 Red Baboons. Now, to live up to a name like that, it's got to be really, really excellent. And it is excellent. It's fruity, a little bit kind of cola-ish, quite nice and sweet. There's a wonderful thing about British cask beers, which is that when you've got these lovely fruit flavours in them, in a badly made beer, those fruit flavours would build up and get quite cloying, and so after a pint or a couple of pints, you'd really be kind of saying, I don't want any more of that. But the more you drink this beer, you still get that lovely appreciation of fruit flavours, but it actually starts to get drier the more you drink it. So it becomes very sessionable, it becomes very moreish, and although you're getting this lovely flavour in your mouth, you're not getting too much of it. So it's absolutely fantastic, and one of the best funny named pump clips I've seen for a long time. So that's it for this month. I hope that this has made you thirsty, and I hope it's made you want to try some great British beers. I hope you do try them and enjoy them, but please come back next month when we'll be trying some more. Cheers.
Cheers.